Bear Mug's walking into the stream with very little Christmas spirit in her heart. There's stories about people like you. And they're not good ones. What's going on, Bear? Think you narrowly missed ads? Oh, we can never win, can we? Oh, are we back? We're so back. Hopefully. Is the music gonna kick back in? Hopefully it does. Dang it, dude. I don't even think I'm following on this account. Should I follow on my same account? I just got messaged something. Oh, it's just that. Okay, well. There we go. Okay, we're back. Anyways, hello everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time. My music doesn't want to fix itself, so we'll try to refresh right here real quick. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm still rather sick. I'm debating on when I want to go to the doctor because I'm lazy and I want to do schoolwork and get homework. Homework right now, even despite how sick I am, homework doesn't seem that much of a, I don't know. Or like homework seems more pressing than me being sick. Sorry, I'm skipping through the music because we need to start off on a good note. There, Dryden. Yeah, hope you're all doing well. Let's get to it. I swear I pressed the button. I just pressed the wrong one every time. Where is my music? Oh yeah, I forgot this one has like a slow burn. But it does need to appear. I swear to I got it working this stream. If the music player doesn't want to fix itself. Bah. Cool. Let's get started. Yeah, there we go. Starting. But yeah. We are back. Yes. Sorry about that. My bad. No, my ISP's bad. But yeah, in terms of art, I did some gestural stuff today, trying to like experiment with how I want to do my little Halloween drawing. And I realized I've now become more fond of box people than spheroid people, which like I've typically used spheres to represent major masses, but I see it more like it makes more sense to my brain and I place things more accurately when I can do box people. Yeah. Also, I said my Pinterest was acting up. I fixed the algorithm. We have returned to Turan Fiddler and the artist of Dungeon Meshi art. Meshi artist. I should know the Ryoko Koi. I should know their name because they're one of my art parents. Like, I'd say, you know, a month ago I was very Turan Fiddler and Kurumi Stormpin, but now I'm feeling more Ryoko Koi. Koi? Ah, man, I need to figure that out. I need to watch a video or something. Because I love their character design and their creature anatomy. And I've been getting a lot of spoilers, so at this point, I think I just should read Dungeon Meshi. Are they making a new season? I don't know. And somehow Kaiman and Dorohedoro and Kaiman have merged with Dungeon Meshi in my feed to create a wonderful comic with both Laos and Kaiman. Wonderful one. Oh, I forgot. We're supposed to be going hard mode right now with the 0.4 millimeter. Wink. My two favorite himbos. That's actually a wonderful description of them. I love those guys. I want to like Laos more, but I know there's more to him. Like the story, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's seemingly more to him and a lot more with this character, and that's why I like Dungeon Meshi a lot. It's writing. Because I felt like very rarely you get to see an anime where it feels like every character has a unique perspective. Like a totally like, oh my god, yeah, it makes sense that they think this way. Because this is all the information that they've been shown. Dungeon Meshi is one of those. Anime likes to portray him as the monster eater, which is fire. Yeah, no, like a little dumb guy, or like special interest himbo, who knows nothing more than monsters, eating monsters, which is fine. Yeah, yeah. As Bear said, that is fire. And I love all the other characters in their own. Chilichuk, I don't want to say Chilichuk is my least favorite, but I mean, I do not to say I don't like him. I just love everyone else a lot, especially Sinchi. Marcel's up there. He has his moments for sure. He's definitely not an annoying or bad character at all. And like, I'm ranking Chilichuk as a means of like how much I like this character, not like they're well written or poorly written. No, I think Chilichuk is very well written. So it's more of a, do I vibe with this guy or not? But yeah, how's it been going, Bear? You have a good day? You were graced with a black cat today. Sunbathing. Dude, to be a black cat and sunbathing, that sounds awesome. Or just to be any animal sunbathing. They look so at peace. I've never been that at peace when sunbathing. Tired, but now I can rest. Hell yeah. Actually, you guys might have caught on when I said I worked on some drawing today. I had time today. Once again, I'm not allowed to go to the gym or bike because I'm sick. So I had some time to draw today while waiting for my computer to stop computing. So I got some gestural sketches done. Most of it, like none of them, I don't think I'm going to continue. They're mostly trying to figure out poses or stuff, but I had a lot of fun with them. And in fact, I was really proud of myself because if I'm flustered with the drawing, I usually have to completely step away for a while. And I was getting really flustered with one of these drawing from reference. And I was like, you know what? Okay, well, we're going to sit down. We're going to figure it out. And I actually sat down and figured it out. I'm not sure if it was a fluke and I just got lucky. Or if I actually helped myself slow down without taking like a huge break. Because like most of the time when it comes to getting like flustered or overwhelmed, I have to like take a bigger break, like step away for a second. Not that I'm like, when I say step away, I'm not like about to punch a hole in my wall. Like I'm not that intense. It's just like my brain's not thinking about the right things, or I'm thinking about it too much. I need to like step away, reorient how I'm thinking about it. Take a nice brain break, as you would with like programming or homework or I don't know what else. And then we have some nice Minecraft music. We're going to be drawing some forms. I really like, I want to, like the whole reason why I posted my little box guy and critique or work in progress is I was just surprised. I've never jived that well with a figure drawing before. Like I feel like I captured some stuff gesturally that I haven't had before. And I was so comfortable with my boxes that I didn't have to think about them too much. Like, once again, shout out to Broken Draw. This is probably like a crazy helpful critique here, wait. Or critique, like practice. I went to the store. These were like $10. I bought 2 of these. And what I do is in one hand, I like orient this at one angle. And then the other, I sketch it. Or like do boxes. I sketch like there's a rectangle I do right here for the chest, even though the whole rib cage is like all the way back here. But like this section, a smaller rectangle for this section and a larger rectangle for the head. And like, at first I was drawing the spine explicitly, but I realized I have much more success when I have a line near the spine, but it's a more gestural one that tries to align with the force stuff, like some of the very general earlier pages of Mike Matizzi's Force. Yeah, these were weirdly expensive though, $10 each. I have a polar bear that I haven't drawn as much with as the cat. But doing this exercise and being like drawing from life, yeah, it's there are cheaper ones. They're smaller, they're less high quality, but you can get them for like I think $4. That's much more manageable. Um, but yeah, is like literally asking. I feel like when you have a book or like a paper, or you're doing a reference from a 2D image, an image, that's the word I'm looking for. You don't have to question which planes you see as much. Here, I have an example of this. Like this is literally me doing this the other day. The bot when I was holding it like this, and I realized like, wait, I can barely see this plane, so that's like this is what it should have been. And so like having those mental challenges of, which planes do I actually see, and how much relative to each other. Like, let's say I see, like, let's suppose that there's 100%. Like, you know how a circle has 360 degrees? Let's suppose that, like, we have to divvy up, like, a pie chart, how much of each edge we can see in that imaginary circle. Because the more one plane is exposed, the less the other will be exposed, right? So it's a game of divvying those percentages up. And now, as I get more used to box people, I need to start figuring out how I want to abstract forms and convey musculature. Which means it's prime time for me to start studying gesture and anatomy. Because I still need a lot of gestural work to know where to like strew, like where to move those boxes about, right? And I need anatomy to figure out what to build upon or subtract from those boxes. Because like my mental model right now is like, okay, the chest, very big flat plane. So now what do I, and like, suppose the human chest, the male human chest, also has like a flat plane, making connections between which planes are visible at each time, and how I want to convey those. And this goes very much to Tom Fox's drawing methods from his book, especially the soft and hard lines. I'm glad we found that vocabulary, because I've been calling them occlusion lines, which there is some technical truth to that, but I think soft and hard lines is just a much better thing. Because like today, I was also looking at Turan Fiddler's art and looking at other people's art of like the same like figures and stuff like that, right? And I was like, why? I was trying to answer the question, why is Turan Fiddler so much more appealing to me than others, right? Like, what makes him unique? Because there are plenty of artists online drawing muscular men, but like, what makes Turan Fiddler so special? And I haven't answered that quite well enough to talk about it yet in depth. One thing that I've seen he does that very few others do is he has no hard lines, or no, he has some hard lines in the internal of the he's the animal muscle guru guy. I know, right? There's only a few others that I like in that category. But they capitalize on different things. Of course, yeah, like there's no best. People do different things great, right? But like one thing, and I haven't looked at enough Turan's art to verify this, but he uses very few hard lines on the interior of his figures, which allows them to be very soft. Like a thing I don't like whenever I see lots of musculature or forms is like when there's thick, dark lines representing like the bottom of the pec, right? Because that doesn't feel like the pec is soft, right? It connects to the abdomen. So why would it have this sharp, harsh line unless it's like the very edge of it where it's going into the silhouette? Then it's much better to be a darker hard line there. And like also with like a lot of his forearms and stuff, the more protruding / like the part with the most rhythm, I don't know the correct vocab to describe it with this, but let's say like my arm's like this and there's more of a curve right here for this muscle, then he'll do this line thicker and this line very thin or even not at all, which really helps draw your eyes towards the curves of like calves or biceps or like the bottom of the tricep. So I have a lot to learn there, but I'm trying my best to recognize things. Trying to remember what else. Oh, the way he does fur for his gestural sketch or like his lighter sketches is very sharp. I found a lot of artists have very like curve fur, but his is very sharp, jagged, and a lot of his line weight, I think. This is pure guessing at this point, but it looks like he like does tradigital because like some of those line weights, or maybe it's just Procreate because I think he uses Procreate. Um, there's very very wonderful like thickness and quality of line in there that many other artists, even their finished products, don't show. And then I gotta do this exact same kind of in-depth analysis for all my other art parents. But that's fun. Like I really like seeing trends and where they differ. Seeing where they differ makes me feel like I'm actually learning. Because then you can like make predictions. You'd be like, okay, well, I guess if he's doing this pose, then this thing will happen. And then you look at the art and it happens. And while predicting isn't necessarily understanding, it isn't. You can then ask the beautiful why question. Why does he choose to do the darker line on this edge and the lighter line here? And like rhythm could be an answer, right? And then you experiment and then you fail. Then you figure it out more. I just realized how gnarly this is. Look, this is just a cookie tray burn, dude. Looks like I was in a war. Like, who did that to me? Damn. I need to make an edgy gravel OC with like a scar right there to represent his war against cookies. I'm somewhat hyped for the Halloween drawing because I want to go very Hataya style texturing for werewolf gravel. He is the plague. We need to bring the plague. Oh wait, no, we did that like 5 years ago. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, let's be done with plagues for a bit. My bad. Eh. I'll just wait for like LLMs to make a superhuman virus like AI 2027 does. Eek. I messed up this line because I remembered I had homework. I am not lying. I'm not coping. I literally remembered I have to read my poly-sci for tomorrow and I haven't yet. And I could have done that today and I forgot. And that's why that line was messed up and no other reason. Leave me alone. Frick. Okay, I'll do that as I go to sleep. I love doing homework as I fall asleep. It's such a good feeling. It is? No, not at all, dude. It sucks. It sucks. Actually, okay. I will say it is only if it's like of my own volition, not because I know I have to. Like if it's philosophy homework, it's like a short story. Like we've had short stories. Or like here's a direct example. The symposium. We had excerpts from the symposium. Excerpts. Look at me using those words. I'm so fancy. But like, not Euthyphro. Oh my god. Aristophanes. That's a fun one to read before bed. Not necessarily Socrates's and like the Ladder of Love. Or what's her name? Diatema? I don't know. That one was a bit harder to follow, but like Ladder of Love. I'll do that homework before going to bed. I wouldn't be too. As my roommates, I'm picking up some of my roommates' vocabulary. Too fussed. I wouldn't be too fussed. He's got some great vocabulary. He says things like pencil it in, too fussed. I need to steal all of this. It's good stuff. We need to do some planes. Planes will give us. We're going to be doing a lot of straight lines today and ellipses. We're kind of doing everything. This is the everything assignment, other than organic forms, I guess. I don't know why this semester. I'm trying to be more careful with my calories because I hit my weight goal. So I don't want to do any more than that. But I've been craving noodles. Vinny's. Oh shoot! Yeah, no, I saw. Oh man, I'm actually super hyped for that because I watched him play the demo. Dude, I'm so excited. No one else plays it the same. Joel has played it and it was pretty funny, but like it's a Joel stream. I can't fall asleep to a Joel stream. Joel stream is a lunch thing. Vinny stream is a nighttime thing. But yeah, have a good one. No spoilers. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh god. Oh my line work is decreasing now because I'm thinking about Vinny Vine Sauce and the amazing. Why is this stream title? It's true, you know. Get out of here. Man, I'm hyped. Shoot, that means either I watch the VOD tomorrow or I just tune in tonight and I don't get the full picture. Then again, I'm not sure if the demo saved his progress. What a great game. I feel like that's one of the horror games or psychological horror games of the year. That's like Mouthwashing. Mouthwashing was awesome. I heard amazing things about it. I never played it, but I watched Vinny play it. It was great. I watched him at like breakdowns of the story and stuff. Trying to think of other noteworthy horror games. There's that one, it's the oil rig one. It looks good. It seems a bit inconsequential at times. Like I feel like a lot of the horror or the scary scenes are like it could catch you. I don't know. I'm iffy about some horror games. I think psychological horror is much better. Because it makes sense. There's no like big bad immediately chasing you all the time. Like in Nun Massacre, I've played Nun Massacre. Whenever you understand, it's just loud now. And you can get jumped by the loud. Okay, I'm not sure if puppet combo games are the best uh testament towards quality of horror games. Not that they're bad or anything, but like there's definitely a lot of puppet combo games. I wouldn't consider them crazy sophisticated in their horror elements. Not that you have to be sophisticated to have a good horror game, but for the kind that I thoroughly enjoy. Man, my line work is shoddy. we did a lot of warming up. So, in the sake of time, we'll go to BRB. For those who don't know, if anybody's here, I can't see the stream count. So if somebody's here, I hope you're having a good time. But we're gonna do 2 minutes of ads, just to make sure that no one has pre-rolls whenever we jump into our main hour of drawing, which is gonna be our lesson 6 form intersections with a voice crack in between. But yeah, so 2 minutes of ads. This is a good time to get some water, refresh, chill out for a second, and then we'll get right back to it. So be right back. Oh shoot, did I even run ads? I don't know anymore. Did I press the ad button? I don't think I did. And I can't see. Thank you, Reddit. Oh, I just said thank you, Reddit. Ooh. Yeah, pre-rolls are only off for the next 20 minutes. Then again, not many people are here. Yeah, it's only me, so we're just not going to run ads. There's no point. But yeah, so without any further ado, guys, let us get into Drawbox Lesson 6, Form Intersections. So yeah, our goal is to draw a bunch of forms on the page and then intersect them. We want a nice mix here. Nice spread. What do they say? Respect the schmear, whatever that is. We want that. Dude. Sorry, I'm also brushing off. I keep forgetting it's not a dead cat. What is this called? What is that called? Pop filter. Yes. It's like I'm reading something from chat. No one's in chat. Pop filter. I always call it a dead cat because, I mean, they serve a very similar purpose, right? They go on top of mic to make it sound different, but and are somewhat shaped the same way. Okay, let's do another pyramidal. And we're going to rotate it to the right. So it intersects with this. It's going to be 3-point. I don't know how to mix 2-point and 3-point. That's for something. I mean, hey, this is the opportunity to try to think that through and experiment. Also, this back line is a little bit lower than it should be. Yeah, this line's going this way. It needs to be moved to the right a little bit. Come on, Kavel. We got to redo all of this now. Why would 2-point and 3-point differ? Well, 2-point just simply means that one of the axes has its VP behind where the box is, right? Or not even behind. Or yeah, it's just symmetrical among the box, right? Yeah. No. Oh wait, no. That's not what 2-point is. 2-point perspective means, I always get this confused. This is a good learning point. 2-point perspective means there's only two axes that are vanishing. The other vanishing point is off at infinity. Therefore, the lines are parallel. Not just in space, but on the page. There. So, I don't know why I conflate 2-point to having the VP in the box, but that's not the case. It can be in the box, right? Because if it's in the box, that means the planes are converging, and thus 2 planes of the box are only visible, right? I think. Man, I need to up my my 2-point game. But yeah, so it's gonna be weird because I'm not used to overlapping things, but we're gonna overlap this Jonathan. We'll treat the outer edges of this plane as the VPs. So we'll get a good chunk out of this. Feel like we could have done a bit better. How's my page already warping, dude? Nice. Ay. I was going to complain like, oh man, drawing forms for an entire hour. But then I realized I just got out of the 250 cylinder challenge. What am I complaining about? What am I saying? What am I... Also, I need to move forward a bit. There we go. Something feels off. My posture or something. Maybe I'm just anxious about drawing this, or my mic's in the way a little bit. Yeah, my mic's in the way a little bit. It's okay, though. Oof, stuttering. You don't want to be doing that. Come on. Okay, so yeah, we want this to share a similar VP. I.e., it's not like super uber foreshortened. I just realized, yeah, so if this is less than 90 degrees, what does that mean? That means this line needs to be more than 90 degrees away. Right? Yeah. Because the Y is effectively happening here. The Y of a box is effectively happening here if this is over 90 degrees and this is less than 90 degrees. But if this is more than 90 degrees, then either the VP's, that's going to mean the VP's in the center. So one of these has to be 90 degrees. Geometry, heck yeah. So that means this has to be over 90 degrees. And I want it foreshortened. I'm trying to think ahead because if we want to aim it I'm trying to think about the normal of this plane, right? Because if the Y is here, the Y of the box, right? Meaning this is over 90 degrees. That means the normal, what happens if I move this? Right here, the plane becomes very flat. So we have this, the normal's over here. But if I move it up, the normal's right here. And as I move it up, the normal starts more. Does the angle of the normal ever change? No, because that would depend on this line. No, because a normal doesn't need... Oh, okay, wait. Yes, the normal will change if this line changes because none of these lines in the Y for the rectangle can be less than 90 degrees. 90 degrees or less, right? They have to be more than 90 degrees. So if we do like this right here, there's only a small range where the normal can exist. Meanwhile, if it's all the way up here, if it's 90, or it's like 90.0001, whatever, right? Then the normal can exist from here to here. It can exist in a larger range because you have more room to work with, right? You've minimized, if we go back to the pie chart example, right? We've minimized live. That would be really annoying. Also, yeah, we got an, oh, I'll talk about it, I guess, when when our internet comes back on. There we go, we're back. Let's see, if we want this to definitely intersect, because we want a corner inside of it, that means we want this to be only slightly less than 90 degrees. That means we want this to only slightly be more than 90 degrees. And technically, we could have as much as we want because we can change the vanishing point, right? Like we could have it be 90 degrees right here. I'm saying 90 degrees, but it's supposed to be greater than. And you can set the VP like this. So, however, we do want this to be square, which then we're following those rules, right? Where we assume, so if this line is super short, that means this is going to be highly foreshortened. So we actually ideally don't. So this could have been like that way, right? I think this may be experiment time. I think we should do a quick experiment. Experiment time. Classic Drawbox stuff. Is this grinding? I don't know, and I don't really care because this is like a cool little figure it out and learn. So, yeah, we're going to have the similar situation where we have, in that situation, actually, we had like two almost equal lines, right? And I think we made it almost isometric. So, you know, these only touch like that, right? That isn't square. What did I do wrong? This is what happens when I don't think, which happens a lot. It should have been like that. Ish. Okay. So yeah, this is a case where it's way more than 90 degrees. So the area that we have to work with is, we assume, you know, we can be anywhere between hither and, trying to make 90 degrees, here for our normal. So our normal can be anywhere in this range. We're going to call that the normal range. Let's test this. We can do normal a little bit over here. And to make that, so that's right here in that range. These are both parallel. I think I'm doing this math backwards, actually. Because this is assuming the box is up here, which means the exposed plane of the box is going to be up here. But in reality, what if we're working down here? Will that change? Let's see. So that means this is our acceptable range. So if we just make a parallel line, does that feel any better or any worse? Now this also wasn't a true square, so our little experiment doesn't work as well. And no, it feels shifted, but that also may be because of just what we're working with. And also, I'm smearing ink everywhere, and I'm really worried that I'm going to end up smearing ink on my actual thing, which is going to suck. It's going to happen. It always happens. So now we're going to try the opposite side of this range with a different color. We're going to try something like this. Yeah, we'll make... That don't seem right. Oh, well, also, yeah, I used the wrong lines for the red. Okay, let's make a better example. I like the experimentation, though. Oh, shoot, I'm mixing caps. My desk is becoming very crowded, and I'm getting ink all over my hands. Oh, no. Alrighty, let's make a better example. We'll start with probably the easiest base case. Kavel, why are you spending so much time on this? Because I'm learning, man. I'm experimenting. So, once again, we'll assume we have a plane in 3D space. Yo, what's up, James? We're experimentalizing right now. How's it going on your end? We're going to assume there's no vanishing here. We're going to be closer to 90 degrees. 2 inches. Good to hear. Heck yeah. I'm smearing ink everywhere. Let's see, Kavel intuition. Where does this turn square? Here. Maybe here. Maybe here. There. Nice. It's going to be somewhere, like these lengths are going to be the same if they're vanishing the same, which they should be, because these central lines. Okay, cool. So we have our base plane. How am I? I'm alive. I'm still quite sick, but I'm alive. Got some work done today. Still have some more to go, but that's better than exploding spontaneously, in my opinion. We're going to do green this time. Okay, so according to my intuition, we have this range to work with. Once again, this is going to be our quote-unquote normal. Normal range. So let's put some normals in the normal range. We'll start with this case. A bit more in the middle. We're going to connect it now. See, that feels pretty good. Now let's try another one. Oh my god, I'm sparing so much. Well, let's try this one. Try and keep it relatively parallel. Go this way. It's not as tall as I wanted it to be, but that one doesn't seem right. Even if you flipped it the other direction. So what if we flipped it the other direction? Would it seem right if we did it over there? Maybe. Maybe. This is a pretty cool optical illusion, at least. Let me move some of my pens and pencils around because this is getting rather annoying. There we go. This whole thing would imply then that we flip to the other side if we cross this range. But that's weird because you can draw a box this way. This would still be in the rules of the box. But this is the top of the box, and this is still the top of the box. Draw box. Yo, he said it. He said it. Maybe. Oh wait, this doesn't seem very square this way. Because here's what I'm thinking as I'm drawing this. Right. This mess. This is the top of a box, and so if we felt so inclined, we could draw the remainder of the box for any one of these. See, there's a box. Which means the planes, this is a very rough box. It's not a great box. But suppose this was a good box. I'm gonna wash my hands after this because I have so much ink all over myself. These technical pens suck. Don't use them. See, that's the philosophy. But it doesn't seem right. And I don't know how to do that, but it doesn't. You can do the same thing for the blue box. The blue one here. You can go. We're basically making like a tesseract. And the foreshortening of the box would change the direction. This is going relative to everything, methinks. That's relatively parallel. This is a mess. Basically, what we're drawing here is one shape. We're drawing this. Because, ideally, it'll, my camera's not close enough. The minor axis right there, that little dot through the shape, shouldn't matter. So if we place our plane like this, and then draw a minor axis, or if we place our plane like this, and draw a minor axis, all that predicates on is doing that. So I guess what this is saying now is my definition of the minor axis, which is the normal line to this plane. If we have a plane like this and a plane like this. No. Because when you have a plane in 3D space, it already has a normal. It can't move. Because it's the cross product of two vectors. What do I know about calculus 3 and analytical geometry to help me with this? To find the correct normal. Because it's 3D and I'm projecting it onto a 2D plane. Or, yeah, 2D plane. I'm projecting a 3D plane onto a 2D plane. I should have paid more attention in linear algebra. Shoot. Because, yeah, that means we don't need a second plane to create a normal at all. So, the only... the heuristic way, because yeah, okay, sure. You don't need a box to find a normal between two planes. Fine. You don't need it for math, right? Mathematically, you only need the plane and two vectors on the plane and a point. And treat the top plane as the one down here, then no matter what, the line going through these two planes will be but that line isn't the same as this line. It's more foreshortened, or it's at a different angle. Now you actually can have the VP be here, and thus this will go this way, and this will go this way. So yeah, the Y method, I guess, is technically inaccurate, because then, if you have a box, and the VP is right there, then it'll just do that. But that's when distortion happens, like we talked about in the cylinder challenge. So that's not typical. But and you're like, why is it distortion? Because the angles no longer add up to 90 degrees. It's possible, but I don't think that'd be correct. Oh. So. We can still probably have this normal range and it still can probably work. It also doesn't help that this plane was rectangular. So I think our normal range is correct, but we have to account for the fact that no matter where we put our box's edge in the normal range, as we're calling it, I'm still washing my hand. We're going to do a BRB in between this. Oh my god, I've spent 20 minutes on this? Dude. The minor axis will have to converge with it. So what is it called? I'm going to call it a pyramid because I don't want to sound like a nerd, but isn't it rectangular pyramidal, or what's it? Polyhedron. Isn't this like a... No, you're fine, Have a good one, James. The Minecraft music probably isn't helping. let's see, four-sided pyramid, square pyramid, a tetrahedron. I'm not calling it a tetrahedron. We're just going to call it the pyramid. I was just curious. The minor axis of a pyramid. Please tell me I spelled that correctly. I don't know why I'm tripping. Yeah, I did. The minor axis of a pyramid will and like you're gonna say, oh, intersects. Well, they could intersect up here. I'm not talking about that, but I'm gonna put that here. The minor axis of a pyramid will be a line that intersects a line in the normal range. Minor axis of a pyramid will be the line that intersects a line in the normal range. But now we have to answer the question, well, what if it's highly foreshortened, right? Because if we're highly foreshortened, that means the pyramids can be distorted. But at the same time, we will have some distortion, right? We will have some... So what is it like? If we have high distortion, well, even then, it'll land in the In fact, we've established the VP now, right? If we have this plane and we have the minor axis, then we will have the VP. This line, this line goes to the VP directly already. So we now have a established VP for the rest of the box. And if it's highly foreshortened, then it won't really matter because it can only land more in the normal range until it just does this. And same thing here for like this red line. This one can be foreshortened as much as you want until it hits the other side of the normal range because, oh, you're still going to intersect it, but it's like going stupid. It's going silly, stupid, crazy style. I said those words. So yeah, this makes sense. We can put it anywhere in the normal range. If anybody out there is a mathematician, an artist, or anywhere in between, maybe even musicians hop on this one, I don't know. But let me know if this intuition is correct. We're going to go to BRB real quick. We're going to pause the timer. I'm going to wash my hands, get all the ink off, and then we'll continue. So be right back. Crazy that we've drawn one line. I'm waiting for my hands to dry. I dried them, just like they're not fully dry. And I'm not ruining this paper because I washed my hands. So we're gonna give that a second. Take some sips of water, all that good stuff. Cool. Let's get back to it. So we return now with a little bit more, maybe more knowledge. We actually got to apply this now, right? Which is scary. But that it'll make us encounter new problems that we have to solve. So just by artistic internet just went out. Dude. Um, so that means if I want the VP to be in here, that means it's going to be relatively highly foreshortened, which means this one line needs to be shorter. Actually, it'd be longer. It's not that much foreshortened. Now, here's the thing, right? Look at the degree of this box. The top degree, right? Which, of course, as we know, the top degree of the box will be smaller because it's closer to us, or closer to our viewing line, I should say. Which, in a way, I guess is closer to us. What if it was tilted away like this? Well, then you'd be seeing more of this face, right? You're kind of seeing that in action right now. Anyways, okay, that's not a problem we're addressing right now. One thing at a time. That means that the degree of this has to be, depending on where we intersect it, ideally, if we want it to be on a parallel surface, but we don't necessarily have to. So we have more free range. Never mind, we don't have to address that problem either, unless we want them to be both somewhat like on this same flat plane. Like these planes are parallel. The plane at the bottom of the tetrahedron pyramid. I need to stop calling it tetrahedron. I'm just like hammering it into my memory. The bottom of this, the pyramid's plane to be parallel these planes in 3D space, not on the 2D page. Then we'd worry about degree and such. But I'm not gonna. It makes it easier though to think about, or like to work with in terms of intersections. IMHO. So we established that if this is going to be in here like this, we could do it this way, but I don't want to because then we get close to that dot and I don't want two dots next to each other. That means we want this to be foreshortened, which means this has to be greater than 90 degrees. This has to be less than 90 degrees. We have a dot right there. That means that line's shorter. That's actually practically 90 degrees, if not less. So we're going to go out a little bit more. So that's somewhat foreshortened, which means now this means our line of our normal range, our normal zone. Did I call it normal range or normal zone? Because normal zone is funny. Okay, we're going to call it the normal zone. I'm so normal. If we're in the normal zone, that means we're in a range of between orthogonal to this line or orthogonal to this line. And the range of anything orthogonal to both of these lines on the outside. So we're over here, which means we could go like this, which means more of it will be in there, which is actually kind of cool. That's a more complex intersection, so we'll do that. If we commit to this line, which is somewhat shorter than this line, let's say about like a 2 to 3 relationship ratio, that means this line will be more foreshortened than this one. So we'll see something like that. It's actually going to move. So it's not that far away. It's going to be like this, but I committed to the dot too early because I'm psychotic and evil. Is this 90 degrees? I feel like it's actually, okay, no, it's not. Stressing. It feels awfully close to 90 degrees. It isn't. Pretty sure. I was about to bring my ruler out to like measure that. I don't care enough. So that means this and this line are going to be relatively closer to being parallel than this and this line, which are going to highly foreshorten. Now, we know just from intuition, and we could probably math it out as well, from the cylinder challenge that this is not square. Why is it not square? And as we've exercised in the cylinder challenge, well, we can ask ourselves a series of questions to figure that out. Maybe turn down my Minecraft music a little bit. Which line feels too long? I can usually figure it out by answering that question. Which line is too long? And I'm not talking about on the page, I'm talking about in 3D space. That's what the intuition part is. It feels like this line is too long. Okay, so that line's too long. Actually, no. Maybe I'm thinking about it on the page. Which would be more mathematical one. Because if I moved it right here, I was about to say too much, but that may actually be decent. But I feel like, no, because if we look at it from this way, it's purely rectangular. That line's starting to make a little bit more sense. You're like, why, Kavel, do you cover up the other dots? It just helps me see it a little bit. See, it just seems a bit too wonky when looking at it from this angle. And I'm not sure if it's because I need to move it this way. Once again, this line is smaller, so that means this VP needs to be more angled this way. So moving this direction would be okay. Meanwhile, this one does not need to be very foreshortened. If we did something like this, where they're relatively parallel, that actually feels a bit better. Which is weird because I originally like cursed the dot that's right next to it. Yeah, it's too out. So much for being analytical. I'm gonna call that good enough. Because sometimes that's the best you can do. So now we're gonna commit to it. Man, I forget how thick these 5mm are. Okay. 0.5 millimeters, whatever. Yeah, 0.5, right? Yeah, because 5mm. Oh, wait, no. Yeah? How big is a millimeter? 1 centimeter is like approximately a third of an inch, right? Because you need 2.5. So, yeah. So we say it's a third of an inch, and then divide that into 10, so half of that. So that's a 15th of an inch, which is close to an eighth. Otherwise, we'd have to go to a 32nd. But look at that. That lines really closely with an eighth. Right, that's an eighth. Or the internet anyways, so. Okay, that's definitely rectangular. I should have moved this one more inwards. But we'll deal. Nice. Wait for that to dry. Ink pools at the ends a lot, but that doesn't mean I won't smear the middle as well. So just gotta be very careful. Oof, that's a weird tangent line. Or almost tangent line. So now we have our normal range. It's anything that is orthogonal to this line or orthogonal to this line. And since it's very close to 90 degrees, that means we have almost the maximum normal zone that we can. Trying to say normal zone more. So we can actually work our way into the box by quite a lot, and we can get away with it. I think that gives us ample room for intersection over here. That's within the normal range, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you can land in the diagonal, then you're pretty well within the normal range. But yeah, that's fine. That's definitely in the normal range, well within it. Or we could go really in there, like this. Like this. Let's go like that. Let's go crazy with it. Is my head in the camera? Almost. Nice. Nice. Success. Don't like that tangent line, though. I didn't expect that. I don't know if that classifies as a tangent line, but they're too close. They create a visual dissonance. Is that the right word? That I don't appreciate. I'm gonna Google visual dissonance. I'm sounding all pompous tonight, dude. Visual dissonance. Psychological tension caused by discrepancy between what one expects to see and what one actually sees. I would consider that a visual dissonance. Yeah. Okay. Take a sip of water, and then we'll get back to it. Draw another form. Maybe a cylinder. Say hello to one of my good old friends, the cylinder. I'm not going to say a cylinder is easy, but I do believe it to be somewhat easier conceptually. Ooh, looking at it from this way just looks horrid. What am I looking at? Okay, there. Oof, it took a second for my brain to like snap to see what that is. Cool. Let's do a cylinder. We'll need something to bridge these two, so we can do like the cylinder like this. Just get real messy. Get real in the middle there. Yeah. Yeah. Line here to here. Why not? Just make sure we have enough room for the ellipses, which I'm going to draw through, so we're going to actually get kind of crazy with it. Big line. Lots of ghosting. Go a bit further. Nice. Bit bowing. Look at that. Womp. But there. There. We'll wait for that to dry. I want a compilation one day of how many times I've said, let's wait for that to dry. My OCD ass wants like a literal count of how many words I've said ever, and I'm going to be really, really mad about how many times I've said Don't even include that one on the list. Actually, include it because I want to see how many times, but like, don't show it to me. But I still want to see it. I feel like maybe there's one word, and I'll probably say like a lot. There's one word that I only say in the intros. Probably not hello, because I say hello to people in chat. It is currently 7:30. I feel like currently and 7:30. I'm ruining the count right now because I'm saying it out of, but like you could get a rough estimate of how many times I've started stream with those. I just ruined it. I probably haven't said those. You could probably like get the list in order then. Okay, so hit my microphone and almost like smeared my paper. And the edges are bending and it's making me very mad. But we can washi tape it if we need to, which we probably will. Now we have to play the game of which degree is going to be larger, which degree is going to be smaller. I like... Oh, we don't want intense foreshortening. I almost fell for that. We don't want intense foreshortening, which means we're not going to have a huge degree shift. Yeah, if this is going to intersect, then I want that to be the further part. I want it to be quite large, so it's easy to bridge these with a smaller form, like a box or a sphere or something. So I feel like something like this. Beautiful. Frickin'. I can't work on this anymore. That was just... Dude. I know there's a little bit of a splinter right there, but leave me alone. Like, that is... That's it. That's... I'm not getting any better than that. Don't expect anything better from me ever than that. Holy, I'm gonna take another sip of water just to, like, cherish that moment. Holy moly. That was beautiful. Especially for when we almost, like, nuked the page by bumping my microphone. The page bend right here is still annoying me a lot, though. I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to put some other papers. I usually leave my paper in the scanner, whatever we're currently working on. I'll just leave it there. Let's also set an expectation for foreshortening. So we have this distance right here. That means we're going to be... Ooh, tangent line incoming. Quite literally, because we have an ellipse now. So nothing like... Something like that. I'm not going to make a mark up there. But like something notably smaller, right? Because we... You know, a non-foreshortened and isometric cylinder. Not sure if isometric is the correct term. I've been saying it a lot, though, for a long time. Would be like this. So let's go in a little bit more. We want to just use that as a guide. Oof. That's unfortunate, but not horrible. Ooh, look at the... Whatever. That minor axis was not in the middle. Blech. Same thing with this one, actually. It wasn't as good as I was glazing about. Oof. My Discord. I need a new Discord picture. It's still a very angry looking grackle. You know when you've picked a good profile picture when friends message you privately about it. That's how you know you've picked a good one. This one, I haven't had any personal messages about. I need to be more. I need to cause more issues, turn more heads. Oh my gosh. Not totally tangent right there, but still pretty freaking epic. I need to change my vocab, dude. Ooh, some stall. Okay. If you hate stall, you're fake. You don't have to love stall. Ooh, you know? Oh my gosh. Why couldn't we do that for the 250 cylinder challenge? Because we haven't done it yet. I don't know why I'm lecturing you guys this stream. Okay. Jams, dude. Jams. You can't hate stall. I'm sorry. You don't have joy and whimsy in your life. It's like the same people who didn't like Balloon by Tyler. You don't have to love it. You don't have to love it, but man, you gotta enjoy it. I think we could do one through here. I feel like I'm testing my luck. I can't be doing this many cylinders in a stream, man. That's too much for Kavel. I want to make this one kind of skinny, silly looking. Just gotta make sure we don't touch the tip of that, or else it'll look weird. Some more visual dissonance. I need more normal words that don't make me sound like a read the dictionary to go to sleep every night. Nice. Maybe you could have made it longer. Should have made it longer. But yeah, we're gonna do some smaller ones now. We could keep it a longer degree, but or a larger degree. That would just imply that it's really close to us. Or no. Wouldn't at all. Just means it's aimed closer. Or no. Yes, because if we're not allowed to be highly foreshortened, which if you start with a high degree, then you can't foreshorten much anyways. And yet it's this long. That must mean you're like it's like I'm doing this, right? Like look at my hand. See how pretty high degree in front? Why does my fist look like that? Stupid camera. And like the degree in the back is gonna be almost 360 or 90 degrees. Sorry, because you're looking straight at it. But if it's really long, like we're building up like this, then it implies it's very long. It's going further away. That's my idea of it. Anyways, I could be wrong. Let's do a larger degree though, just for sillies. Haha. Sorry, my bad. Okay. It's maybe a washi tape moment, but there's like 5 minutes left on the stream. And yeah. Move more to the right for you guys. We're gonna get bigger actually. I did exactly what I didn't want to do. I freaking... Oh, and look at the major accent. Oh, God. Well. Ooh. Ooh. That's rough. Uncomfortable's going to comment on that one. Frick. Shoot, man. Okay. Whatever. We will survive. We will fight. Tatakai. Should never have let me watch Attack on Titan. Were there ever... I wasn't an anime enjoyer when Attack on Titan was big, like really, really big. For like teens, I guess. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of my friends were into AOT when I was younger. I was just never with it. Were there like Jaegerists, like edgy Jaegerists, turning off and on my internet? Screw you. Please don't tell me my stream reconnected right as I said screw you. Very unfortunate if so. Oh my god. Visualize it. Manifest. Eek. Not horrible horror. Oof, both those minor axes are so off. I think it's literally my positioning. I know that's a cope, but yeah, this mic's pissing me off. Here, I'm gonna adjust it real quick. Just manhandled this microphone. Now it's in a more acceptable position. That won't fix my my crappy ellipses though, that's for sure. No matter how angry I get at my mic. It's tempting to want to double up on these lines, but I ought to know better. Ooh-wee. It's okay. Cool. Another day, another set. We're going to ignore that remaining minute. Another day, another set of primitive forms. I think we did a good job today. These are weirdly parallel. We'll toss in like a cylinder that goes like this or something. I don't know. We also have some cones and some spheres to toss in here. 3 pages of this? That's a lot. But yeah, cool. So, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Thank you, Bear and Jims, and anybody else who was watching, didn't send anything in chat. Totally cool. Lurk as much as you want. I'm a good, so I've heard, a decent sleep streamer. Not that I go to sleep on stream, but I put people to sleep, and I'm totally cool with that. So yeah. Oh, frick. Oh my god. Ow. Okay. So, as I hurt myself, I hope you all have a wonderful night tonight. We will... Yes, I want to stream tomorrow, because we will not be streaming Friday, and maybe not Saturday. We'll see. But yeah, so once again, thank you all for joining me tonight, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.